What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Today's video, you are in for an extraordinary treat. Man, Activision has done a lot of horrible stuff to this community over the years. Let's be real here. And I don't think we're ever going to be able to view Activision in a different light. But at the end of the day, they have done something recently that is so huge, so fantastic, especially after, them shutting down, X Labs and really hinting at plutonium and SM2 getting completely removed, all of these different things. Finally, we have just some type of light for Call of Duty fans, especially the people who absolutely despise what we have current date, hate, everything, Modern Warfare 2019 up to current date. It's just, these games aren't your vibes. Finally, we have an alternative that can bring us some happiness. And surprise, surprise, it's actually due to Activision. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep into the topic of today's video, if you do enjoy what you hear today and want to hear some more content revolving around Call of Duty, Battlefield, or even X-Defiant, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. And last but not least, we have made the switch from Twitch over to Kick. It's been a bit of a grind, but of course, you guys have been showing me a ton of support. So if you guys do want to see some live streams, some different, type of content that doesn't always revolve around, videos and stuff of that sort, you guys can actually find the link to my Kick channel down in the description of this video, along with all my other socials. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see with the gameplay, obviously in the video here, we're going to be going ahead and discussing the OG Call of Duty games. And surprise, surprise, I'm not going to be discussing it for the PC players. I know a lot of the time that I talk about, whether it's good or bad news about OG Call of Duty games, it's typically about the mods, Plutonium, IW4X, SM2. That's usually what I discuss, but finally, today, we're only going to be going ahead and talking about the console fans. The console community has been struggling for quite some time now. I know a ton of people out there who still play OG CODs on console, but the problem that, they have is, one, it takes a long time sometimes to get into lobbies. It might take even, probably 5, 10 plus minutes, and you might not even find a full game. 2, the connection is usually pretty buns, and 3, it's a decent amount of cheaters. But one of the biggest reasons, again, why people don't even bother attempting to play these Call of Duty games on a console is because it just takes too long to get into the game. And when the servers finally are active, it's, just server after server after server of cheaters. So people don't really want to tolerate that. They just go back to another experience. But what if I told you the servers have finally been fixed up? And yeah, of course, there's going to be cheaters, as always, when it comes to OG games. But what if I tell you the servers are actually going to find you games pretty fast, pretty quickly, and there's going to be a lot of variety in lobbies? It might not be the most popular thing in the universe, but at the end of the day, you are going to find a tad bit of variety day in, day out when it comes to these OG Call of Duty games. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yes, this has come true. As you can see from a tweet from Charlie Intel here, it appears Activision has fixed matchmaking on older Call of Duty games on Xbox 360. Now, sadly for the PlayStation players, I don't know if your guys' servers are going to be fixed up anytime soon. Don't mark my words on this. Again, I play on PC, so I don't really, stay too tuned in. I haven't been able to test it out on the PlayStation 3, even though, the majority of all my OG experiences were on the PlayStation 3. Sadly, I wasn't on the Xbox 360 area. I was on the PlayStation 3, but I don't really regret it. Honestly, I really enjoyed the PlayStation 3. I had a ton of friends on the PlayStation 3. Wasn't too bad of a choice here. But still, at the end of the day, the 360 servers are finally getting fixed up, and it's pretty much being confirmed across the board. I've seen people all over on Twitter, tons of YouTube videos, even my own personal friends have been hopping into lobbies in seconds now on Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, some of the best OG games, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. Some of your favorite games are actually populated right at this current moment. Guys, if you have not even bothered going back to an OG classic Call of Duty game and you own an Xbox 360, whether you're scared of cheaters, whether you're scared of the lobby queue times, whether you're scared of just even bothering wasting time, now is the time to go ahead and revisit these classics. Guys, Activision did something special here. I'm not one to give them any props, and I'm not going to give them any props because this should have been done a long time ago, but at the end of the day, they did something that is going to help out a lot of players finally enjoy Call of Duty. If you hate all the current games, if you can't stand what we have nowadays, and you're one of those people, the diehard OGs, that really only enjoy the OGs, now is the time to hop back in. Enjoy it, dabble in it, and the variety is outstanding right now. And for anybody who's new to any Call of Duty games, and hasn't played the OGs, now's the time again to dabble in the OGs. This is the best time ever to experience this. You can find these classics for extraordinarily cheap for Xbox 360, obviously if you can get a disc version. And I guess the biggest fee is going to have to be, getting the online for Xbox, Live for the 360. But at the end of the day, to, experience these OG classics, 1010% worth it. I would not even, tell anybody not to do that. Not a day in my life. I would always suggest someone to go ahead and get Xbox Live if, of course, you can actually find a consistent amount of lobbies, and it's not like you're going to buy Live and you're going to find one game in 2 hours and that game is going to be full of cheaters. No. I wouldn't suggest that, but this right here is worth every last penny in my personal opinion. Now, I gotta be honest, I wonder why this even happened. It's a few things running through my head. I mean, first and foremost, I'm starting to think the rumor and the leaks that I've been seeing a lot of people talk about with how, them removing X-Labs and, taking, the ban hammer to SM2. I'm starting to believe that they're doing this because they are going to be either A, remastering a bunch of these games, or B, they're going to be going ahead and, making a Call of Duty like Master Chief Collection type deal. And it's funny because right when all this stuff is going through with Microsoft and Activision, that's when all of this is happening. I mean, isn't it kind of crazy? The coincidence and timing that right when, we're getting really positive information, positive feedback with this, Activision buyout with Microsoft, now's the time that all the OG classics are finally picking up the pace and you're able to hop back into the experience again. And, they just banned out all the mods. They banned out all the legal ways of getting it. So now they made the servers playable. You can actually get back into the game. And it seems like they want people to actually purchase the titles again. I'm curious. I don't know if you guys know if anybody can go on the Steam versions and try it out. Me personally, I don't trust it. I can't trust it yet because Steam PC is bad. Like, I'm really 1010% programmed to only play mods when it comes to OG CODs now. It's just how I've been doing it for years and years and years and years and years because it's completely unsafe. So, of course, if anybody has the balls to actually go ahead and test it out, yeah, you can leave it down in the comment section and let me know if it's safe or not for, PC players since, technically PC is going to be Microsoft as well, especially when it comes to Game Pass. But right now, 360, it's where it's at. You can get all these classic games. You can have just an absolute blast, filled up lobbies, consistent lobbies, no cheaters, even though you will run into cheaters, obviously. I shouldn't say no cheaters, but, you get the idea. It's not only cheaters when you're trying to play the game. To be honest, it's making me think they only did this because of Game Pass. Call me crazy, but let's be real here. Before anything goes on Game Pass, it's going to be the OG classic gods. They're going to want each and every one of those games on the Game Pass. It's going to be a huge selling point for that overall subscription. And, I mean, yeah, people will gladly get the Game Pass if they could play campaigns, but let me be honest with you guys. Wouldn't it be 10 times better if the multiplayer was along with the campaigns? And a lot of those games would be useless if they didn't update the servers. But now they did. All these games are playable. All these games you can find lobbies. So it's making me think that this was done in order to actually implement these games onto Game Pass, whenever it's going to be, whether it's a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. Who knows how long down the road it might actually happen. But I'm starting to think that they did this intentionally so that Game Pass will make more sales. It's as simple as that. Yeah, the campaign will make a lot of money, but if all the multiplayer experiences are playable, all the DLC that you got are playable, everybody's playing the game, the skins that you got in Black Ops 2 are still there, so on and so forth. All that stuff is intact, and you can actually get into games without cheaters. That will add so much value. And both Activision and Microsoft know this. At first, Activision doesn't have a subscription plan. They don't have a Game Pass. So upgrading the servers isn't something on their main list of things to do. They're still making money off of it. People are still going out and buying the OG games. Right now, their main priority is just milking people out of microtransactions in their yearly cycle. That's it. That's all that, matters. But now with Game Pass being a thing, these OG classics are going to have some relevance. There are going to be a lot of people who actually want to, dive back into these games. So they have to be playable now. They have to. There's no other excuse. And they pulled the trigger and they made them playable. That's what I'm thinking this is all about. It has to be something between Microsoft and Activision. It has to be something between them. If it's not, correct me. But man, I mean, why else would Activision out of the blue just decide, you know what, we're going to go ahead and fix up these games? We have, neglected them for years. We have ignored the community for years. We have not given a crap for years. But out of nowhere, right when all this stuff is going on, yeah, we're going to fix it up. Again, it seems a little sus when it comes to timing. But ladies and gentlemen, as I said, if you haven't tried out these games already, make sure you get back into the experience. If you have an Xbox 360, they're all playable. You will find cheaters, but don't worry. It's worth it. Everybody's on, everybody's vibing out, everybody's having a good time. Make sure you are a part of the experience. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, bump, say hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're new to the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat me this story, do so over Twitter and Discord, both in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you all next one. Peace out.